All right. Not too much to add from the game Saturday. I think I saw it pretty clearly afterwards. Our focus in response to that has been to build off the spirit and energy we played with on defense. I thought we had some flashes of some good play and play that is getting closer and closer to what we want to define our program. Offensively, we were disappointed first in just what we feel like was a lack of total effort in the play and lack of connectedness. It didn't feel spirited, and so we've talked about that internally. We've addressed where we feel like we can start to build back trust, but we need the 11 players on the field, no matter the phase that's out there, to be playing our identity, our brand of football. As far as injuries go, Christian James was at practice today, so he actually got reps. He'll be questionable for Saturday. We want to see how he responds from the day's work, but encouraged by the fact that he's back in the mix. Savion Riley was not at practice today, but we expect him back this week. He'll be questionable for Saturday, but if he has a good week, we'll be hopeful to have him available. DeRicky Wright practiced today. He was non-contact and on a player load, but I'll keep him as questionable for Saturday, but encouraged with his progress. Jalen Mahoney practiced today and would be probable for Saturday. A.J. Swan is going to practice on a pitch count this week and is questionable for the game. Trudell Berry did not practice today. He's dealing with groin that may just be a pain tolerance thing. We got to see how he responds to treatment here and see if we can get him back out in the practice field in some capacity tomorrow and kind of build him to Saturday. He's questionable right now. B.J. Anderson practiced today on a player load. He's probable for Saturday. We'll see how he responds. Missouri's a good football team. They've had a good start to the season. They have a really good defense that challenges you in their front with a physical line of scrimmage and pressures, a lot of press man on the outside, and they gave us a hard time last year on that side of the ball, and we expect them to be ready and a challenge for us offensively. Defensively, we'll face an offense that has some really talented players, a challenging scheme. Coach Drinkowitz has always done a nice job on that side of the ball, obviously, and the manner in which they get burdened the ball and his skills will give them a chance to be explosive. The quarterback's been efficient this year. Obviously, they stay committed to their run game and do some nice things off it. So this will be a good competitive game for us, and like we've said the last few weeks, it becomes about our ability to protect the ball and our ability to play to identity, our ability to play four quarters in a manner that makes us proud. And if we can do that, we feel like we have the ability to be in a tight game, and then it's about trying to find a way to win. So with that, I'm happy to open up for questions.
So the Swan injury, is it still the elbow contusion, or did he further aggravate it to something else?
Nothing further. It's just a matter of it's the balance between continuing to play through it versus giving it a chance to rest and recover. No different than the kind of decision we faced with DeRicky last week. There was a way through for DeRicky, but you measure that against just the kind of grind of the season and wanting to make sure that you're making the right decisions to get him back all the way healthy. We need to play better at quarterback, period. So whoever's in there needs to run the offense better, make better decisions with the ball. It's the burden of that position that the game on that side of the ball runs through the quarterback. We want to be mindful of the fact that AJ's been battling through this elbow, and we want to see that he's ready to continue through, and if not, we want to give the offense a chance to run through a healthy player there so that we can perform better offensively. I think that's important. That's what we're how we're treating the week.
Were you thinking about maybe pulling him because of that before you did? I know you went to Ken, but it was pretty late.
It's just we have a lot of trust and faith in AJ, and we believe in him, believe in his talent, and he obviously has made some remarkable plays this season, and we really defer to him in the moment of, whether he thinks he can push through and be out there and give everything he has. Certainly, there were a couple moments where, you felt like he was favoring the arm, or you felt like it was bothering him or becoming an issue, and at those moments, we consider all options. But he seemed like he was ready to continue to press through, and we wanted to give him a shot to do what we know he can do back there. Obviously, by the time we made the switch, the game was out of hand, but felt like there just wasn't more out there for him to prove, and needed to get someone in there healthy to try to salvage that last drive and finish the game with some pride, and hopefully launching forward into this week. So that's where the decisions came down, and appreciate AJ's toughness and fighting through it. Want him to get back healthy, need to play better at quarterback.
There's between AJ this year and a little bit last year too, and then Ken Seals in 2021. There's been a couple instances of quarterbacks who played through some injuries a little bit. What is your kind of, I guess, philosophy on when it's time to maybe not play somebody if they're not at 100% versus playing through it?
Well, it's a collaborative, effort. I mean, first we start with conversations with our athletic training staff about what the injury is, what the nature of it is. Will continued play create further damage? Then you look at practice performance and see, is he hampered in practice? I mean, we have competitive periods daily where whether it's 2-minute periods or best on best, like run play action periods, where we're watching our players play against our best. And so you're measuring performance there. You're seeing if he's affected or if the player's affected in those periods. And then it's obviously conversation with the player too, how they feel, what they feel like they're able to do and not able to do. And so, obviously you want to put your best 11 on the field, and you want to give those guys a chance to perform at their highest level. And we pulled AJ at the point at which we felt like from his responses that he wasn't able to push through that pain any longer. That was the decision we made in the moment. Up until then, we had no reason to think that that the elbow was impacting the down and down out play, and so that's how we come to those decisions.
Also, how's Langston Patterson? What's his sense?
Thank you for asking, Aria. He's working his way back, getting better. Expect him back to practice this week. I would say questionable for Saturday, but I know he's chomping at the bit to play. So he did some progressed work today, and expect him to be back out and hopefully available for Saturday.
Missouri has some really good receivers, and especially with the secondary as banged up as it's been, what is going to be the key to stopping their receiving?
Well, I feel like we had two safeties come out on Saturday, and Marlon Sewell and John House, and it wasn't a perfect performance at all, but I was really proud of the way they played and they prepared, and I thought Kentucky had some talented skill, and we do have a young secondary at corner. Last week, playing Trudell Berry and Martell Height, two freshmen, a significant portion of the game. I think Tyson Russell's continued to improve his play. I've been pleased with his progress. It'll be good to get B.J. Anderson back. But the biggest thing is, to understand, they have talented skill at receiver. Obviously, we're going to have to be hyper aware of where number 3 is, because he makes it go, and he has the ability to make plays, contested plays. They design him to get him open, and it's those 4 guys back there, the corners and safeties, working together to make sure that we have leverage and we're on top of the routes that they want to get on top of us. And on the whole, I felt like we did that against Kentucky. Obviously, they hit the double move, where it got in Martell's blind spot. I mean, that's fundamental technical for him. That's a freshman learning through experience, that I can't turn back into the route. I gotta speed turn it. and run and assume it's behind me. And then they hit a one-on-one shot on Martell as well. Some of those things are going to happen when you're in rotated defense. So if you're playing cover 3 or man free, you're going to get those shots at times where we have to be good fundamentally technically down the field. I thought our finishes were better. I thought we were under control and in good positions. Didn't always finish on the ball, but we weren't seemingly panicked and pulling at the receiver and getting pass interference calls. So we have to be able to play the one-on-one ball well. We have to be able to keep dominant position on that ball. But through the design of their offense, we need those 4 guys working together to make sure that we have the coverage and leverage on the routes that they want to go for touchdowns, and that'll be huge. And obviously that's big every week, but I think against this Missouri team in particular, they have a knack for getting the ball down the field. And the last thing I'll say on their pass game is, and this was true a year ago for us, they got an explosive screen ball to number 3. He can break tackles. He's a strong runner. So our leverage on the perimeter and the physical play, getting aligned with our cleats in the ground will be critical for us, keeping him from getting explosive plays with the step back screens.
Can you make a statement on the hire of new Deputy Athletic Director Derek Rice and how he will help you in the build of the new athletics facility and help grow this program?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I'm so excited. Obviously, he brings a wealth of experience and has done unbelievable things at San Diego State. And, I know Candace has been hard at work on this hire and spent so much time and energy in finding the right fit, finding the right person. I think in a lot of ways it's an example of an opportunity for us where she has a vision for where the evolution for that position goes and what we need in this moment. And I think he fills all those needs, and she and I have been in touch about it. But I'm just excited for her and excited for him and excited to get going and obviously welcome into the Vanderbilt family and start to have him help enact the vision for where this program's going, certainly where the department's going to.
Recently, Memphis's coach suggested that he would like to play you guys at Nissan Stadium. Is that, obviously the schedule is pretty filled out, but would you be interested in playing Memphis?
Well, yeah, it sounds like a great idea to me. But in fact, we could make it the Barbecue Bowl and decide it once and for all. No, I love the thought. Obviously, there's so much up in the air with the scheduling, and I spend little time and energy on that right now. My focus is on our team first. We have underachieved to this point, and there's more out there for this team. I think we haven't controlled the margins. We haven't controlled the things that we control, and that's what's frustrating. And so, to be honest with you, Ari, I've not spent a lot of time on thinking about the schedules of the future. My energy's being directed towards the efforts we're making right now. I'll play whoever they put on the schedule. I trust, obviously, Candace with that, and wherever they tell us to put the ball down, we'll put it down. But love the idea of playing at Nissan. Love the idea of playing Memphis. Again, to me, it doesn't matter who we're playing against. It's about how we play and establishing an identity and a brand of football here at Vanderbilt.
Turnovers, I know, have been a frustrating issue. I think 3 that have gone back for scores, and I think 3 more times opponents have had the ball inside your 20. I think just in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Just a general comment on the frustration of batting and what you do to fix it.
Well, I could be wrong, but I've got 4 back for touchdowns. 2 in the game Saturday, the reverse against UNLV, and then the punt return against. So not to rain on my own parade, but it's a little worse than the picture you painted. Yeah, we've 4 back, 9 in the past 3 games, 4 back for touchdown, 3 that have set possession inside the 15-yard line. Listen, you can look at it and say some of these things are the ball bouncing the wrong way. Some of them are fundamental technical aspects. I think on Saturday, we saw some carelessness with the football that has been, we've been talking about for weeks now. honestly. Even before Wake Forest, we were talking about decisions with the ball, and Hawaii missed some opportunities to make plays on the ball that could have shifted the tide of that game too now. So, I mean, you want to look at where we are in the season and say, we're really disappointed to be at this point 2-3. It could be worse, and it's all about how we play with the football. That's it. It's about the decisions we make. I think the fundamental technical parts of it, in terms of the ball security elements, haven't been the issue, right? It's the reverse that was run into a pressure where they had a line on it, and as we were going to pitch the ball, they were able to tip it, and obviously that went back for touchdown. We had a snap into the shield, which, again, we like Wes and we think he's a really good snapper, and unfortunately in that moment we didn't execute the call. The punt return, there are some things that we can do in those moments to clear the path in front of Will in terms of his communication, his decision making, certainly fair catching. But what happened in that play was Wake Forest was able to put our guy into our guy, and I think that's a good job by them. And we have addressed that with the way we're training in practice, how to handle those high traffic situations, and again, what we can do to communicate, how we can signal for a fair catch to keep us out of those moments. But too often we're throwing the ball into traffic as though the defense isn't there, and so there are a number of things that influence that. I think the first you got to look at is protection. It's everyone's responsibility on offense to fight for the ball. So our pass protection needs to solidify, and that's not just the O-line, right? That's how the tight ends and running backs interact in that respect too. But it's also how the quarterback sets the protection and understands when he's hot, right? That's been an issue at times where we've gotten pressure on a blitzer that we should be throwing hot off of. And then it becomes about the post-snap decisions we're making, right? And where to take our chances and where not to. So all of that starts with coaching. It's what we're coaching, demanding. It's the attention we're giving to it in the classroom. And then in the end, it's putting the people out on the field that are demonstrating the ability down in, down out to play a connected style of football that allows us to move the football forward. If we protect the ball in the last 3 games, I believe that we're in 3 really competitive games with a chance to win. And that doesn't mean we're guaranteed the win either. We have to go earn it. But I like our chances. Obviously, I think 10 points off turnovers for Wake Forest. I think 17 for UNLV. And then 21, I believe, this weekend. Again, 2 that came off. Our defense didn't even have a chance to get a stop. That's not going to cut it. We're giving attention to it, and we're going to do everything we can in our power to protect the football and to make sure that we're giving our team a chance to win. So, yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's perplexing. But we're not going to be discouraged. We're disappointed. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to find the answers.
So you had a little burst against Kentucky, I guess, in the first half, start of the second half. Your defense played well, played aggressive. They had a series of 3 and outs. What did you see that you liked that you can take forward?
Well, there's your chance, right? I mean, you talk about the start of the game was challenging, and I would say the first 3 and out we had. Actually we got a conversion on the first snap, so it was 4 and out. That first 3rd and 9, we fail to pick up a twist to the load side. We throw an out cut that's open. We don't fight for the ball at receiver, and we don't pick up the twist, and so we got pressure on the quarterback. That was the first 3rd down of the game for us. On the return drive for their offense, our starting safety gets a targeting call, which was tough, and so now they're able to get the ball into midfield, and we don't fit a run properly, and they make us pay for it. So that's a hard start. Next sequence we have is a missed hot read where we get pressure and we throw a ball late to the flat, and it's picked off for a touchdown. So to get behind at 14-0 was certainly a challenge. I thought there were moments there at 21-0, where we started to show some life on defense. You started to feel the momentum on that side of the ball pick back up, and then we had we scored the in the middle eight there. We were able to fight back in and score 10 points, and really felt like heading into half that we were going to be positioned well in the third quarter. You come out, you force a turnover and take over the ball in the red zone. We need to be able to get 7. We got 3. Our next possession offensively started at the 48-yard line. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for us in that moment. Unfortunately, we had the interception return to the 10-yard line, and that just put a lot of distance between us and Kentucky. But you can see the moment where, despite how poorly we had played there at the start of the game, where this team was fighting back into the game, and I felt like seizing the momentum of the game. In that moment, all 3 phases need to sync up, and we had 2 of the 3 playing at the level that we expect. We weren't playing at that level offensively, and in those moments, you need to be kicking field goals and punting the ball. We can't be turning the ball over. So I thought the play was structured on defense. I thought the play was spirited in those moments, and I think there's something there that we need to build from moving forward. I thought the day today reflected that same spirit and energy, and we want that to spread throughout this team so that the team can go out and get the result that we want.
You sort of addressed it at the beginning and just now about whether the offense was spirited or not. Is it just a couple guys, or is it the whole unit?
Football's hard. It's a hard game where there's not just the physical toughness, but the mental toughness with all the emotions that come and go through the game. One of the big pushes we've had internally is to not get dragged behind the emotions of the game. I felt like early in the year, when things were going well, we would have the energy that we expect. When things were going poorly, we'd get dragged down. And performance always lags behind attitude, right? So in those moments, if you're getting pulled down, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get back up on the upswing. You will follow the play on the field. And so to answer your question, I think we have guys that are on the offensive side of the ball that are impaling themselves right now for this program. And I think they are fighting as hard as they can fight. But football is a game where it takes 11. And in those moments where it's tough, you need galvanizing leadership and that kind of esprit de corps that not just it's this concept of being anti-fragile. It's not just that we're going to be durable, but we're going to actually grow through adversity. I'm starting to see that defensively. Again, you got a unit that at 24-0 was fighting for every blade of grass on the field, and that needs to be reflected in both sides. And there's really clear examples of this on the film that we watch as a team. So this isn't things that are abstract that we're pulling out of the air. I mean, it is demonstrated in the performance, and that's where we need to be making the team decisions moment by moment, not in the game, but in the way we live, in the way we train, so that it becomes automated in performance, and a level of connectedness and trust shows up in the way that we are fighting for every blade of grass. Again, I see that being established on defense and special teams. I believe in the offense. I believe that this is just a lull right now that we got to fight through. But it's the burden's on us to make it happen.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.